Morning, everybody. It's deep. No, I'm just ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am Old Man Logan, and this is Blvdave TV. We are on our second episode, and on this episode, we have the lovely Miss Audrey Valentine.
Hey.
Woo! Let's go. All right. So, Audrey, how you doing? First and foremost,
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Glad we finally got this in the workings. We talked a couple months ago, actually.
I know, yes.
Yeah,
so I'm glad too.
Couldn't get it going then, but now we got it here. So
yes,
thank you
for having me.
Alrighty. So we have a list of topics here. We're gonna get right into it. You know, we took a lot of time prepping, so now we ready and we rocking. So
okay,
all right,
fire away.
All right. First off, I wanted to know who inspired you to become a singer, and also did anyone say, you know what, go out there, girl, you need to start singing.
Well, I've been singing my whole life. So as soon as I realized I had a talent, as soon as my parents realized that I had a gift, they invested in me very, very young. So I always knew I wanted to sing. No one necessarily inspired me to. That was just something I always loved doing, and I always knew I was good at. So I never wanted to do anything else. I always wanted to sing. What was the other half of your question?
Did anybody ever tell you to say, go ahead, you need to start doing this? Like somebody heard you on the street or something? And
I mean, I would say my family, my parents, like I said, at a very young age, they invested in me very young. And my siblings have always been super supportive. Like, I have 4 older siblings, 3 sisters and a brother, and they always was like, yeah, this is what she needs to be doing. So, for sure.
Nice. Okay, so I know obviously you're an independent act at the current time.
Yes.
So, being that you are an independent act, would you like to continue that, or like, are you in pursuit of a recording contract with like a major company, or like what's your plan on that aspect?
People ask me that a lot. It's weird. It's like I see the benefits in both. Obviously, I would probably prefer like a label deal because it's just a bigger machine. But me currently right now, I actually prefer to be independent. And I mean, I've come across a lot of people that's in the industry that have told me like, you should just stay in the independent route. So just because a lot of the backhanded, underhanded stuff that occurs when we're talking about a label deal, that they just feel like it'd be so much better to do my own thing.
Good. And I think the benefit of being independent, and starting independent is that you learn a lot of the stuff yourself.
Exactly.
So if you do ever get to a place where you're in a recording contract with a major company, you know what to expect. You can, you know what I mean? You have that know-how, so they can't just necessarily try to put the blinders on you, if you will.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so I checked out your Love Hangover.
You
joint.
did.
I loved it.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here. I actually enjoyed it.
That is so big for him to say that. I don't know. You got to go back and listen to some of our other episodes.
I'm very critical on the music,
yeah.
but I did check out the other songs that you had on SoundCloud. I think I liked Rider.
Yes, my new one.
The interlude joint. I liked that a lot.
Thank you.
So what would you say is like your type of vibe? Like, what do you
I feel like I'm forever changing. So, like, obviously, I talk a lot about love and relationships. That's why I kind of titled my name Audrey Valentine. But I'm also very provocative when I feel like it. I'm just, like, very raw.
Yeah.
I like to touch on anything and anything at any given moment. So, but I'm just, like, super duper R&B, and I really want to bring that, like, authentic R&B sound back because nowadays our R&B sounds more pop-ish. And I just would rather, like, keep it R&B, blend that hip-hop back in it, you know what I'm saying, like it used to be. So, yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Nice.
For sure.
Now, along with the EP, I enjoyed 2 songs myself. It was Need Your Love and To Be Loved.
Yes, thank you.
I related to it.
Yeah.
We did our research over here.
I related to and Need Your Love as well, and I was like, I like those 2 joints. So
thank you.
Are those songs true stories, or were they inspired from other people you may know?
Definitely true stories. So with Love Hangover, that entire EP was like based off of a really bad breakup that I had gone through at that time. It's like 3 years ago. And I was just taking it really hard, and my people was like, look, you need to put it in your music. Yeah. So that's exactly what I did. Like, Need Your Love is just like, literally, someone is bad for you, but you're like the drug. I can't get enough of you. I keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? And then with To Be Loved, it's kind of like the resolution of a relationship, like being over. So definitely true story.
And I think that's how people really draw in that audience because they're so vulnerable. And people can relate to it. So
yeah, they say you make your best art when you're going through the most pain.
Yeah.
So
Is that a song when you do either of those? Like I've seen you perform. Like, is that a song that the crowd is real receptive of? Like it gets them going, or like how's the reception? You know, when
it's weird. I've never done those two songs live.
Really?
Yeah, those particular songs I've never done those live.
Wow. Yeah. Now, why is that?
Okay, so with Need Your Love, I don't know if y'all can notice, but I'm using my lower register basically the whole song, and it's comfortable for me to do that in the studio or like when I'm just sitting down. But for some reason, I can't sing in my lower register consistently. Okay. Like it's uncomfortable for me to do that on stage. Okay. So that's why I don't do Need Your Love. And To Be Loved just reminds me of a situation that I really just moved on from. I'm not trying to relive that.
So it kind of takes you back there.
Yeah, it takes me back. Like I'd be over that. So yeah.
Your heart out loud with that one.
That's true. That's real. Yeah, that's real.
Okay. So I know the year isn't over just yet, but we've had a lot of great albums in the hip hop field and R&B. So with that being said, tell us, what do Audrey think is the best album that's been delivered thus far in both R&B and in hip hop
this year?
Yeah,
or any other genre,
or just in
Honestly, I'm bad with like listening to. Oh, well, off bat, I'll just say Cardi B. I really love Cardi B's album. Okay. And I'm not a huge Cardi B fan, but her entire album is filled with, like, bops. Like, I just feel like every single song could be a single. And it was really dope. And I really give her props for that. But in general, I listen to a lot of, like, older music. I don't listen to a whole lot of the new stuff that comes out. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of, like, Kendrick and, like, Tiana Taylor. I actually wasn't that big of a fan of her new work though that she just dropped. Keep That Same Energy.
Yeah.
I feel like because I'm a legit fan. Like I've gone to see her live before. She's super dope. But I just feel like her previous work was better than what she came out with. And
yeah, I was saying that when with me and the guys, we were talking about Keep That Same Energy when it debuted, and we were just saying,
I didn't listen to. So.
He didn't. Yeah, he's been anti-Kanye.
Yeah. It sounded like a Kanye album to me too. I just feel like he overpowered her sound. It was so him, and not her.
And I was just telling them like that. I think that what was that debut album of hers? 7? Was it called 7 or something?
Yeah.
Like that?
Oh, it was really dope.
Yeah, it was a great album. It was a great album. So
yeah.
Okay.
But to play devil's advocate, I did see like some of her performance on Instagram, and I really enjoyed it. Like she's a great performer.
Oh yeah.
She had a little red.
The crowd was into it.
Was bouncing, and I was like, okay.
Wig be coming off and
the
everything.
The band was fire.
Yeah, I've seen her at House of Blues before. She's an amazing vocalist and dancer. Amazing.
So you say you listen to older music. So what are some of the artists that you listen to?
It varies. Like we could go all the way back, like 50s, 60s. We have older parents, so I listen to a lot of Motown, and you could.
So you were probably a big Aretha.
I was. Yeah, I cried when I found out. Like that was really sad. But yeah, like Michael Jackson is like my hero. Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston were those two people for me growing up. Like they were like the dynamic duo. So obviously, like us losing all these legends, it's like, dang, I want to bubble wrap everybody else. I don't want nobody else to die. Like, dang, that sucks. But yeah, like a lot of Aretha, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Whitney, and then when we go to the 90s, obviously all the R&B divas of the 90s, Toni Braxton, Anita Baker, like Sade, all those people I feel inspired by. Aaliyah, it's just Brandy. Brandy is huge to me too. So.
Favorite Sade song? I just have to ask since you named dropped Sade.
Ordinary Love, probably. Yeah, she
know her stuff.
Killing.
She know her stuff.
She be killing.
You ain't got no Alexander O'Neal in there though, like I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I don't listen to much.
It is Saturday, right?
But
as the night moves in. Those my vocals,
That's so funny.
Logan in his bag.
Yeah, a little bit.
R. Kelly too. I forgot about R. Kelly.
I ain't nervous today, so.
R. Kelly, yeah, we'll just end that right there.
Yeah, right. So much to be said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Music-wise.
Right.
Yeah, you dope.
So, tell us what's next for you this year. So what you got going on?
What's next? Well, I just shot my next music video, Fantasy. It features Geronimo, who is a really talented singer. He works with Bianca Shaw and Taylor Bennett. And it features the boy Illinois as well. So we just shot that visual, and that should be coming out within the next week and a half probably. And then I'm dropping my next EP, which I'm super excited about. It should be dropping like end of September, early October.
What's the title of that?
Forbidden Fruit.
I'm
just so geek.
she in her bag.
I'm so geek. I'm geek. Yes.
So how did that collaboration come about with the boy Illinois? And you said his name was Geronimo.
Yes, Geronimo.
Okay.
Taylor Bennett.
Yeah, basically, I wrote the song Fantasy last summer. Mm-hmm. But I had a situation where I was recording at that time where they basically stole all the equipment. So I had to record the song over again this year. And before I had like this Jamaican artist that I knew who was on the because it's a reggae song.
Okay.
So I really wanted that like island flavor, and I really like the Boy Illinois style. I think he's very unique and talented. And I'm like, I really want to see what he would do with this. You know what I'm saying? So I asked him to hop on it, and then when I came across Geronimo through a mutual friend, he's just a super dope vocalist, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of want him to do some vocals on it. So I've really just been trying to collaborate with a lot more Chicago artists so that people can see, like, we actually F with each other. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that throw shade and just don't really want to support. And I'm like, no, we need to show that we can support one another.
Right.
For sure.
At what age did you start recording, and, like, when did you start performing?
I started recording at age, what was that, 2013? So 20. When I was 20 years old, I was still in school, but I was home for the summer, and my best friend at the time was working on his EP. And he used to record at Classic Studios over on the west side, and he brought me with him every single session. Like, that was really me getting my feet wet, like, for the first time in a studio. Like, wow, I really like this vibe. Like, this is where I need to be at. It just felt so comfortable for me. I felt at home. So from then on, I put out my first single, and even though I was still in school, I was putting out music. And really, I started performing like consistently throughout college. So freshman year, instantly, I joined this performing arts organization, and they put me in the forefront. And that's when I used to be still really, really shy. Like, I used to have to sit down on a stool and just sing at the mic. I used to be so nervous. And then, you know, I just kept performing until the point where I was like a campus singer. Like, people would request me to perform at certain events. Okay. So, yeah, since college, really.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think about the current state of music, and where do you think it's going in the next coming, years, as far as like how everything's become digital? You don't necessarily need a label anymore. You can kind of just present your music to the world how you want to. You can go get your visuals done. Like you said, you've done a couple videos yourself.
Right.
So where do you see music going forward?
Well, I think the current state of music kind of sucks because it's so more about like popularity over talent nowadays. Even like I saw somebody posted something that Zaytoven put out. I guess he was looking for an artist, but he was like, you got to have at least however many followers. Like, it was just stupid. Like, okay, so basically you're saying that talent is not important to you. Like, you want somebody that has like their own following, whereas back in the day, I thought that's what A&Rs did. Like, they helped build the artists and help them build a following. Now it's like they just want you to walk in with all of this like status. And for me, being a singer in Chicago, that's hard because rap is in the forefront. So I'm literally like working my butt off to try to have the same kind of platforms and opportunities that rappers get all the time because I'm just not being seeked out like they are. You know what I mean? But it's just dumb. It's so dumb to me, honestly.
Yeah, I think, and that's happening maybe because, like, we in the microwave era, I guess you can call it, because I was seeing something a couple of months ago. The girl, Bad Bobby, she ends up with a record deal, and it's just like,
I can't, like,
crazy.
You known for saying "Catch Me Outside," and but Atlantic Records is hiring you, and not just giving you a contract, but they got you working with top notch guys. They got you working with Young Berg, aka Hitmaker,
Ty Dolla Sign,
and Ty Dolla Sign. So
yeah, it's weak.
It's insane.
Really weak.
Insane.
So. But yeah, I still think that there is a large group of people who value talent over the other stuff. Like, for example, here in Chicago, I feel like talent is starting to be important again. People are starting to care more again about talent. Before, it was just about content. Like, everybody want to be turned up. Everybody want to be lit. And you can't be lit 24/7. Chill.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? Have a seat. Drink some water. Like, chill. And I've just come across so many people really within the last 10 months. That's how long it's been since me, like, going really consistent again. that are just like really in support of me, and it's like, wow, I guess I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing. So, yeah.
I agree.
So, I mean, we mentioned artists like Bad Baby and,
Okay, I butchered her name. I said Bad Bobby and said it's Bad Baby.
And other artists that are getting like mainstream exposure. Who are some artists that you would enjoy listening to, as far indie or major? Like, who would you listen to now, like that, or who's out there that gauges your interest?
Kendrick is I've always been a Kendrick fanatic. I just think because not only is he super talented, but he uses his platform to like shed knowledge on what our community goes through. So I'm a huge fan of Kendrick. There is a young man here who I've become really close to lately. His name is Joel Q. He's like a really good friend of mine, and he is a really, really talented lyricist. And he just reminds me of Chance. Like, he gives a really fresh perspective, and he, again, sheds a lot of knowledge and light on what our community goes through, but it's not corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really, really dope. So, yeah.
So are you saying Chance is corny? Or
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, he got that, like, gritty voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chance be, like, singing and doing all the playful stuff. Like, Joel is, like, a real rapper. Bad. Joel is, like, a little more aggressive in his delivery, I'll say. Yeah, exactly. That did not sound right.
Nobody else speak.
Audrey, I didn't drop the sound bites.
No, you got to delete that.
Audrey says Chance is corny.
No, Chance is awesome. Chance is amazing. Who else?
Don't shout us out, Chancellor. We love you, baby.
No, we absolutely love you. He definitely, and he gives back to the community. So he's awesome.
Shout out to Chance.
I can't even think right now. It's just a lot of people I come across here in Chicago that's like really talented and slept on. That just people need to wake up and like support our own community.
Okay, so I got one question I got to ask you, because it's a constant, not only on this one but on the other podcast I'm affiliated with, Chauvinist Pigs. You said you're a Kendrick fan.
Yeah.
So I just have to see if you're one of the Kendrick stans or you're going to be honest with this here.
Okay.
Damn. What is your honest opinion about Damn?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
But
why? Why you?
Do you think was his best out of all his albums?
To Kill a Butterfly was really, really. I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to like judge it, but I thought it was amazing. I really did. I thought it was really dope. You don't like it?
To her defense, there's a lot of female-friendly records on that album.
Yes, that's true. I agree. Yeah,
more than what he usually.
To me as a woman,
okay.
Like,
right.
So a lot of emotion.
Yeah, for you,
yeah.
Okay, here's the thing with Damn. Okay. I To Pimp a Butterfly was an amazing project, but of course, it wasn't going to be received well commercially because.
Right.
It's for a certain audience, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. It didn't encompass that. So I felt like with Damn, what Kendrick did was take a step back and say, you know what, everybody that I didn't include on To Pimp a Butterfly, let me include y'all on this album, this project. Make sure I put out more friendlier music, I guess would be my term to use. And it was a lot more commercial to me.
Yeah.
So, it was just kind of like a... we go from To Pimp a Butterfly to Damn. It was just like, and I saw so many people that just were like in awe of it, and I just was like, that's not Kendrick's best to me. Like,
wow.
You know what I mean? Like Section 80 was better than that to me, but that's going back in the the catalog.
Yeah.
But, and that's not to discredit him, but the way I always explain it is I say, don't take offense to it. I say his trash is better than 100% of these other guys' best efforts.
Yeah, for real.
And I felt like because we had those blinders on, like Kendrick is the chosen one. He gonna lead us through the water like Moses. That a lot of people weren't able to be objective with that album.
I feel that.
So that's why I had to ask that question.
That's a good critique. I can see why, but I definitely agree with what they were saying. Like, there were more female-friendly records on this. Yeah. Like, it just had a lot more emotion for me. Like, every single song was like a different emotion. Yeah. So I loved it.
And it's not to say that I didn't like any songs on there. Like Feel is one of all of our favorite songs from that album. But You know, it was just kind of like, nah, man, I need a little bit more of that for us, by us. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's kind of my stance on it.
Yeah. Plus, you had Rihanna on there, and whenever she shows up,
Man.
the Rihanna hive is gonna show
Oh
out.
yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Now, what do you call them? The Rihanna Navy.
Yes,
Okay.
the Navy.
Right.
Yes.
Whatever that means.
So, on that, what artists influenced you and probably molded your style to what it is now?
Brandy is huge because obviously I'm a product of the 90s, and Brandy was like the it girl in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was just a really dope, positive representation of, like, a brown-skinned girl like me, who was just a typical girl, wore braids, and just had this beautiful voice, seemed to have a beautiful personality. Aaliyah was huge, too, because of that. Like, I grew up loving Aaliyah. Like, when she died, I cried for a week. Like, it was really like, no, this didn't really happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was, like, untouchable to me. And to know that, like, her legacy still lives on the way that it does, and, like, people still love her just as much, and she's been gone for a while. I can't remember. I think I was probably, like, 8 maybe when she died. But, yeah, those two were, like, huge, heavy influencers for me.
So, speaking on the Brandy situation, if they do a Moesha remake, would you?
Oh, I'm here for it. Oh, yes. Oh, my God, I'm here for it. Let me get my box braids. I'm here. Yes.
It's interesting you said that, because I was also thinking that too, thinking you were like a mixture of like Brandy and Kelly Rowland.
Really? People tell me that a lot with Kelly Rowland, or they throw out like Monica. Like, I was in the studio the other day, and they was like, you don't get a Monica vibe from her? Like, I don't know. That's an honor to me. Those people are amazing.
Yeah, that's good, because like you say, you want to bring it back to that R&B.
Exactly.
And that's the R&B that I like, not the new stuff. So, you know, that's why I say I related to your songs as much as it is what we used to listen to.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, so with that being said, favorite Brandy song and favorite Aaliyah song?
Whew. Okay, so Aaliyah, it's a tie between I Care For You and We Need a Resolution.
Okay.
And Brandy, there's so many. But one of the big favorites is Angel in Disguise. Like, I play that every day. And Have You Ever.
That was a good one.
So, yeah.
So Not the Boy Is Mine.
Not the Boy's Mine, but I mean, that was a bop. You know what I mean? Like, that's an instant classic, you know what I'm saying?
I just see every girl who listens to it just get into their character.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yes. I used to do it all the time.
Okay, you got it.
I like that Full Moon joint, man. I felt like
No, that's one of, I mean, you have to narrow it down.
That was one of her later ones, but she was in a bag on that one.
Oh, no. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. I still listen to that every day.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So this is that probably honestly maybe answered this question, but if you could work with any artist on your dream record, who would that artist be and why?
Oh, I always wanted to work with The Dream because he's a really, really dope songwriter.
Hey!
And, like, he knows how to make hits. And, like, yeah, I used to be a really big fan of his. Like, you know, when he had his moment, when he was having his solo career, he makes really good music. So I always wanted to work with The Dream. Tiana Taylor, definitely, just because, like, she'd be killing it on the vocals. That's all I can think of right now. Yeah,
Dream. I just had a mark at moment. Dream's one of my favorites.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. Love King was amazing to me. I mean, he had songs that were similar on Love versus Money.
Yeah.
But
that was my joint.
Yeah. February Love was probably my favorite song on that project. And I just been rocking with him since he came out.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, and her. Forgot about her.
Yeah. Her's dope too.
Yeah. I would love to work for her, and I actually trying to get into, well, I've been a songwriter, but I'm trying to really get into like the industry songwriting, and so I have some stuff for her that she would really kill.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what element of her music do you like the most? Like, is it like the authenticity, or is it the sound, or?
Definitely the authenticity, and then too, I just love like the fact that she's so mysterious. It's like I still don't know the way this girl looks, but I love her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I literally just started listening to her like maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I'm trying to find a picture where I can see her face, but she always has glasses, or if she's in a picture with somebody, she's like this.
Yeah. She
What's
does
going
it.
on? Like, you got
I don't know.
crooked teeth or crooked eyes? What's going on?
That was just kind of like her gimmick, though. It was and
it
worked.
It's working for her.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know how I look, but you love my voice.
But you know it's her.
Exactly.
Right.
You know it's her. You rock with me. So, yeah. Her is dope.
All right. So, You know, back to you. What about your music and your style that sets you apart from like everyone else?
I just think like who I am as a person reflects in my artistry. Like I think I'm very genuine, very sincere, and like I said, raw. Like I say how I feel. I don't really care how someone perceives it, and so I think just in general, like people think of singers and I'm supposed to have like this good girl image. People have like this good nice girl image of me, and I am a nice girl. I'm a nice girl, but you know, like if I feel like saying something that's like a little explicit or provocative, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna make it cute. I'm gonna make it R&B like I should, because I just feel like I'm a queen. I'm an R&B queen, and I want to represent that in my music. Also, I just feel like I want to be a really positive, like, female representation for the city of Chicago. We have so many like dominant male artists that people put all their support into, and I just feel like we need some women in the mix, and I'm going to be that. Yeah,
definitely agree.
Definitely get you up there.
I can't really think of any female R&B acts that
From here, right?
When she said that, I was Sparkle from here?
I don't think so.
Sparkle.
R. Kelly.
Right, she's not
the
even.
one
It
album.
was never even like that
Like
relevant.
Sparkle.
No, but
What's her name? Was that one? Selena Johnson?
yeah, Selena Johnson.
Yeah, Selena Johnson.
I met her recently
But
at
she
the
didn't.
studio.
She used to go to the
She
church.
should. She was
No.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we really didn't have like a
Yeah, we haven't had
a female.
No,
Yeah, no.
I'm
But I will
sitting
be
here
there.
trying to think. I can't think of not one.
that's sad. It kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
on R&B too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless
Jennifer
you think
Hudson.
of like Jennifer
I
Hudson.
forgot about her.
Yeah, J Hud for sure. And
But is she known more for her music or acting now? Like,
I think people always gonna know for her voice.
Right.
Like she
Yeah.
has an incomparable voice. And she hasn't really acted in a while. I know she won an
She's-
Oscar and all
She's
that.
doing Aretha Franklin. She's
Is
supposed to be
she?
doing her.
Oh,
That's
she's gonna be
rumored, so we'll see.
Okay, that'll be dope. The only person I could think of that really, I guess, maybe blew up was Tink. Because Tink was, like, popping for a while.
Yeah,
like, she kind of, you know, and she did the R&B hip-hop thing, too. But I don't know anyone else. I know Dreezy tried to do the singing thing, but she's a rapper.
Right.
So,
Right.
oh, I didn't know she's from here.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dreezy's
yeah.
from here. I actually sang her background before a
Nice.
couple years ago. Yeah,
Okay,
she's a
cool.
really nice girl.
Cool. Okay, what does your motivation come from your art? What is, to get you?
I definitely just want to like inspire people in any way that I can. I want to connect with people, specifically younger people that I feel go through all these ins and outs of being like young, and you're dating this person or you're in a relationship with this person and all the craziness that may come from it. I just want my music to feel like this is some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just went through this yesterday. So, yeah, I definitely want to like just connect with a lot of my followers through my music.
Okay, so ideally, best case scenario, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself very established in the music community. Like I said, I see myself being like a pillar for women in R&B here in Chicago, giving back. Hopefully, at that point, I would have been able to. So my dream, obviously, was to like open up a music school or like a performing arts center for kids in the community, specifically in Chatham. That's where I grew up at, and that's still where I live.
Okay.
And so I always wanted to. I always said, like, when I get popping, that's going to be like one of the first things on my agenda. I have to open up a school because there's so much going on. Like, people getting shot every day.
Yeah.
And I feel like these kids are in the crossfire. Sometimes just being innocent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Innocent bystanders, and so they need to know that people care and that people like want them to succeed. You know what I mean? They need to have as many outlets as they can to express themselves.
Right.
Because really the arts, like, they taking it out of schools every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely that. And being like a really like established songwriter in the industry. Because as much as I am an artist, I'm equally a writer. And I see myself writing for a lot of people. Like, I got hits right now that I could sell to anybody. And so, yeah, I see myself being like an established songwriter, my music obviously doing great, and just being me still.
Nice. Okay, so with that being said, is it one that you put more than the other as far as being an artist or writing? Like, which, or is it kind of level?
I think it's kind of level. I mean, Well, I'll say I put more effort into my artistry.
Okay.
Because, like, I just do that way, way more actively. Like, I do a lot more performing, and I'm obviously in the studio working on my own music. Mm-hmm. But at least with this EP, I've made it, like, a point that every song is written by myself. I want people to, like, put more value into my writing and know, like, oh, not only can she sing, but her writing is really, really dope. So, yeah. And I have some people that have helped slightly with the songwriting, but it's 90% me.
Okay.
So you say you think you would be like a prevalent songwriter in 5 years.
Yes.
What, or do you have any, like, is your pen skills, like, do you have anything that you've written for someone now? Like, you had someone in mind that you wrote for? Or
I wrote a song for Rihanna, but it's not done yet. Okay. Right now she's working on a reggae album.
Yeah.
And I've been linking with this guy named Toxic, who his production company co-produced Bodak Yellow. Like, he got hits. Like, he's been working with Twista for years.
Yeah, I was going to say he used to work with Twista, right?
Yeah, for a long time. And he's a really, really nice, dope guy. So, yeah, we started working on some music for Rihanna. And I have a song that I may shop to her, but I'm trying to figure out who best fits it. But, yeah, I can write for anybody.
So do you have any songs written in, like, a male perspective? Like, have you ever tried to,
Not yet,
like,
but
do
no.
that?
So, I have a song called Never Let You Go. I don't know if you heard that. It's on my SoundCloud as well. Mm-hmm. But, basically, my friend D. Lyles features on it. And he's a dope writer, too. But I asked him, I was like, yo, can I write your verse? Like, I kind of want to write from the male perspective and see how this works or whatever. And he was real open to it. So I wrote his verse, and it really turned out great. Nice. So I want to write for more guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, that's not... Okay, here we go. So we talked about your video earlier in the show. Describe your video idea process. Like, how do you choose the songs that you want to shoot videos for? How do you get the ideas for the video?
So my friends play, like, a really huge help because obviously I don't have, like, a legit team put together yet. Mm-hmm. So me and my friends always just, like, listen to all my songs, and then we decide, like, which ones we feel are video worthy. So with Fantasy, I knew when I recorded this a year ago, like, yeah, we got to shoot a video. We got to be on the beach. Like, this got to be a bop. And normally I write the script, like the blueprint for how I want the video to go. With this particular video, this was the first time that I shot a video in more than one day. And it was so complex. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm kind of ready for this to be over. But I know it's going to be worth it. And it made it a lot easier, too. Not doing everything, like feel like I'm rushing to do everything in one day in a certain amount of hours. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think actually that might be my format moving forward. I might do, like, 2 a days with all my videos moving forward because it seems to be very beneficial.
With Fantasy, you said it took about 3 days now.
Yeah.
Was it due to, like, scheduling conflicts or just the amount of work was just...
Some of everything. So the day we were supposed to start shooting, my initial videographer hit me up like 2 hours in advance. He had a really big family emergency, and he had to cancel. Mm-hmm. 2 hours in advance. I'm in the makeup chair. I'm like, what you mean you got to cancel?
Right.
So, but then I had booked another videographer right after that. He was like, cool, I can come. So we still went out there to shoot and everything. But at that point, by the time we got there, some of my dancers had to leave. Okay. It was just like the timing was really bad. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. We'll reschedule for another day. So we rescheduled, and we did all of the scenes that day except for some of my solo scenes and the dancing scenes. Because, again, the schedules just were not all the way adding up. Okay. But, yeah, it was such a process. I'm just glad it's over.
Nice. Sound like there's going to be a good payoff, though.
I think so, for sure. Yeah.
So, Ryder being your most viewed video currently, what you think attracted so many viewers to the video?
I think, again, like I was talking about, blending that R&B and hip-hop feel together, like, it's a little more upbeat than a lot of my other songs. Definitely up-tempo. It got, like, a hip-hop flavor to it. It's definitely a little more provocative than, some of the music I put out about, like, love and relationships. I think people really rocked with that. And then, too, like, me hooking up with Zay, like, Zay Production, he is really, really dope. And he has a huge following, so it kind of just followed then after. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I got to switch it a little bit because we kind of answered that question already. So, we're going to continue with the Ryder thing. Just explain Rider, like the whole concept of it, the concept of the video, like, you know, how did you end up titling that? Like,
Isaiah, close your ears. Basically, I just wanted to like have a fun song that talks about a woman who feels she's a rider for her man in the streets and a rider for her man in the sheets. Like, she gonna provide and do whatever. And I just wanted it to be like, I literally wrote that song at work. Like, oh my God, it's gonna be a bop. Like, I was so excited. But yeah, I kind of wanted to have like a fun, like sensual, seductive song. And that's kind of where I was going with the video as well. I'm like, dang, this video kind of has to be like a little more, you know, seductive than some of the other stuff I've done. But yeah.
Okay.
All right, so your iTunes project is available. Love Hangover was released in 2015?
Yes.
Okay. So take us back to that time. Tell us why you used that title, how you came up with it, and why those 5 songs with those features.
So I knew before I even started recording the music that I wanted to title it Love Hangover because, as I said before, I am a Diana Ross fan. I grew up on her. My mother loves her. And she has a song called Love Hangover. And what she's talking about, like, oh, if there's a cure for this, I don't want it. Talking about, like, her being with a man and her being in love with a man. If there's a cure for this, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? This is the sweetest hangover or whatever. I don't want to get over. So it kind of tied into how I was feeling with my ex-boyfriend at that time. Like, clearly me knowing that this relationship is not healthy for neither one of us. But I kept coming back. I kept going back to him. And it was just like, wow, it feels like I'm just like drunk off of this man. Like, I can't get enough of him. You know what I mean? So then thereafter, of course, I knew I wanted it to be like a 5-track EP because this was my first project. I just wanted, you know, a few songs to give content, to expose people to who I was. And I just wanted to talk about all of what I felt we went through in our relationship. Yeah. Okay. So the crazy girlfriend situation is innocent. You know what I'm saying? Like, just some of everything. Yeah.
Something that's real relatable.
Yes, for sure.
Nice.
All right, well, now you have an ex. So the question is,
a few.
Does Audrey Valentine, do you have a Valentine now?
No, sir.
No.
And I won't.
So, okay. Well, you don't put an answer in
the So scratch the rest of that.
No, when you hear forbidden fruit, you will understand why. Wow, okay. I'm good. I'm good for a minute.
We gotta get ready for forbidden fruit.
Yes, for
sure. Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, but you know, you can continue to ask the question.
Okay, so when it happens, all right, if a guy ever comes along, what grabs your attention from another
really dope personality. Like, you have to make me laugh. Okay. I'm a really silly person. People think I'm serious all the time because I'm a singer. No, like, I'm goofy as heck. Right. So you have to make me laugh. And a nice smile always helps. I don't have, like, color preference. Some people do, like, team light skin, team dark skin. I really don't care about none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you're, you know, black, then you have a shot. You know what I mean?
Hey, Wakanda forever.
Oh, Wakanda forever. Come on. We're keeping it in the family over here.
So we're not dealing with the Caucasian descent?
What? Well, you know,
I mean, I'm just asking.
No offense. I mean, my grandfather is half white, so, I mean, I ain't got no shade, but I was, like, raised by a strong black man, and I want to marry a strong black man.
Okay. Awesome.
Black kids.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, that's just how I feel.
Can't argue with that.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, Audrey would like to thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. It's great finally getting you in here, getting this interview done.
Yeah.
Hopefully you had a good time. Is it any other thing you want to, talk about before we get up out of here? You said, just tell us again when the EP is coming out and just plug your social media.
For sure. So my new EP, Forbidden Fruit, will be dropping October 1st. I'm going to have a really big EP release party. Of course, all of you are invited to come. So as soon as we confirm all the details, I'll send that over.
It's a bop.
It's a bop. It's lit. You all can follow me on all my social media at Miss Audrey V. That's MSAUDREYVEE. And you can tune into any of my music on all streaming.
Nice. Okay, well, there you have it. Gentlemen, do you have anything else you want to say before we end this interview?
People go get that EP, the first one.
Thank you.
It's dope. It's timeless music. You'll love it. So people go out and download that right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, check out the other tracks on SoundCloud. There's some really good material there.
Yes.
Good, strong vocals. I give my stamp of approval.
Yes, thank
So
you.
go ahead and check her out.
That is, you don't know how big that is with him. We're
Right.
Yes, I'm honored.
It doesn't like anything, it seems like.
I'm honored. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm going to plug my playlist too, okay? I'm going to plug the Blvdave playlist, okay? Volume 1 and Volume 2. That is also on SoundCloud. I featured Writer on that playlist.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead, check that out. SoundCloud is Blvdave Radio. Okay, so there you have it, everybody. Thank you for your time. I am Old Man Logan.
Feel good.
B. Daniels.
Alrighty, and this is Blvdave TV.
Hey.
I'm a rider, babe. All up inside me, babe. Is where you wanna be. I feel your energy. You're so exotic, honey. Love making feels like honey. Kisses all on my body. My linen coated frosting. Lay back and get this love. And I know the streets are tough. Just wanna keep you coming. Back here, I've had enough of all the other guys. Just talk that talk, boy. Don't be shy. Skip being late, you got my time. I just can't wait to go on